Okay, what you're about to watch. All right, so what you're about to watch has been what's the word? So I have been granted permission to show you all of this, and whatever else that I would need to show you, you might have to wait till Wednesday to see it. But I would try to show you a couple of things, and yes, I have been granted permission to do that. If you're new to this space, my name is TC Okore, and all things backend operations, systems optimization, um, making sure that the back end of your business is working for you, building streamlined systems that are positioned right to work for you. Now that's basically what I'm about and more, right? Once you go through my profile, you're able to find out more about what we do. But this particular life is focused on just one thing, right? Now, if you're tuning in, it's simple. It's mostly because you're interested in your back end, right? You're interested in understanding what Q4 is really all about, right? You're interested in figuring out how you're able to position your business for success between now and going into 2024. Now, let me know where you're tuning in from. This is actually going live right now on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know if you can and if you want to, what city you're in, just so we're able to better, acquaint. It's important that we understand what this particular life is going to be about. Now, if you've ever felt like doing all of the things, right? If you've ever been in a situation whereby you're just doing everything, um, but the back end of your business is just not what is not giving, okay? And it's not giving what it's supposed to give. Stay with me, okay? Stay with me because I'm going to be sharing with you a quick but powerful message about why your Q4 results depend on the systems that you fix, not the content you post. I was in a session some earlier in the morning around 10, and I was saying that it is important that we know, well, it depends on what you're selling, right? But if you're a professional, if you're a skilled professional, if you're a service provider, if you run a nonprofit, if you have a SaaS company, you would agree with me that the partnerships, collaborations, the clients, um, especially for service organization, if you're a service provider, it's really more about quality than quantity. Now, everything you do needs to be intentional. Everything you do needs to be targeted. It needs to be strategic. Um, it's not about how many followers you have anymore. It's not about how many emails you have on your email list anymore. And that's because all of those can be mapped out. All of those can be doctored, if you understand what I mean, right? It's the quality of the engagement of these people. Remember, there's this video I posted earlier, I think 2 weeks ago or thereabout, where I talked about you testing your community, your connection, your what you have, your network. It's very important because we don't want to keep pushing out all of these things because it's energy to keep creating content that one, either no one is really consuming, or the wrong people are consuming this content, or you're getting the wrong engagement. Now, there's so many ors into this. The question is, how do you figure out what your next step is? How do you figure out what's working, what's not working? How do you figure out if you're wasting your time? How do you figure out where the problem is? In the past, I've had clients who we've created all the structure, everything, but for some reason, the math isn't matching. There's this client that I was working with, and everything was good, like the structure, boom, 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 everything. But there was still a problem. Honestly, if you have a wonky system, you would never know. It would not even give you that nudge that there's a problem. But a good system would give you that nudge, will let you know something is wrong somewhere, right? Now, you want to, as much as possible, put that in place. Now, it doesn't matter what you're doing, what business you run, whatever system you want to have, obviously needs to be tailored towards where you are, where you're headed towards, what you've done in the past, from your strategy to the implementation to the tools, all of it together. That's what makes your system. Now, think about your sales system in that regards. So, like I said, it's not about the content that you post. Your Q4 results depends on the systems that you fix, what you currently have, because it's going to be a waste of time if you find yourself wanting to do something new, try out something new, post something new. You're going to be shooting yourself on the foot. So we don't want to waste time. Okay. Now, I need you to let me know this. How many of us right now, even if you're watching the replay, right? How many of you are still manually sending follow ups? So, say for example, maybe you go on a live, a collaboration live, or you do a collaboration post, or you go for a networking event, or you go for a summit, or you do this, you go for your speaking engagement, your training sessions, you do all of this lead generation, high impact lead generation activity that basically will give you quality leads, right? How many of you still manually send those follow-ups? It's not me trying to shade anybody, right? It's just me trying to say how sustainable is that. I mean, the most you can do is send one email. The most you can do is send one message. But how about you picture it this way, right? Say for example, you go for a networking event or a summit, or you're speaking at an event. Something you you find yourself in a high impact lead generation activity. You have all of these contacts. It's not about connecting with them. It's not about even connecting with everybody. Now, with a good system fixed, you're able to know what kind of events should you find yourself in, because your energy is important. How you distribute your energy is very important. The time you spend also is very important. You want to be ready. Now, all of this is part of your sales system. Hello. Because some people be like, oh, sales system or landing page. No, that's not what gets you results, right? You want to start to think from way top, right? Where the traffic is coming from, how it waters down. Okay, so you want to be very intentional. So I'll give you my example. You go for this event. You need to prep yourself. That's part of the system. Okay? You need to prep yourself. Oh, why am I heading towards that? What am I looking out for? Who am I going to be connecting with? Who do I want to connect with? You have all of your stuff mapped out. Before you step out, you have your digital card, you have your lead magnets positioned, stationed in your bag, in your backpack, whatever it is. Now, when you meet whoever you need to meet strategically, you know what to offer them. Are you trying to build relationship? There's a purpose, there's an objective. It is part of your workflow, right? Because you have a goal, something you want to achieve. It's part of your sales system. And that's what so many people, a lot of your coaches would tell you. And then some folks would be like, oh, build a system, landing page. No. Remember, your business is unique. You want to be able to figure out right from the beginning to the very end. But fast forward, the question is your Q4 result. Because remember, what you do in Q4 says a lot about what happens Q1 2026. And that is very tricky because how you start your year has a whole lot to do with how you're going to end the year. So you want to start on a high note, confident, structured, ready. You don't want to waste opportunities. All right. So you want to be very, very intentional. So if you're manually doing all of these things, you're manually, you're not even working in strategy. You just, oh, this I need to be here. You just show up for the sake of showing up sake. So people know you're showing up, but just take even all those pictures you're taking, what are you using them for? How does that add up to your bottom line? It's part of it. Now, these are critical aspects of your sales system. However, most times there are leaky holes, there are leaky parts that invariably affect your sales, invariably affect the closing. And that's what we want to be aware about so that we can close those gaps. Remember, it's not about pushing out posts. It's not about doing all the things. It's about fixing and making sure that you're positioned for success. Now, if you're forgetting to invoice the leads, your clients, for example, hey, it used to happen to me before. And if you've ever worked with me before, you will know I'm always like, oh no, I don't like to manually send. When you tell me, oh, see, send the invoice, I'm like, I want to set it up because I mean there are other things to use my brain space to do than thinking and manually trying to figure out, oh, I'm supposed to send it. No, I just want to automate things and just let it go. Because it's better use of my time, better use of my energy. Okay. Now, how many of you are still smoothing, excited about a fancy website, a cute looking website, a cute looking landing page that does nothing? It's not about sales is looking good, all of that, but you need to be positioned. You need to understand how this thing works. Now, when your gross revenue, um dreams, when your gross revenue dreams meet your net reality, it's giving broken systems, right? That's what it's giving. It's giving broken systems. And if that's you, you want to listen closely. Yes. You want to listen to everything that I had to say today. Okay. Keep getting this. Okay. So you want to listen closely, right? Now you do not need more hustle. At least not now. Um, if you are in the side of the world where I am right now, you will know that it's getting really cold, like super, super cold. So you don't need more hustle. You need right now more than ever for your back end um to start to sell for you, to start to convert for you. And what you don't know most times is actually greater than you. Now that's exactly what we would be covering inside the Holiday Sales System Bootcamp that is kicking off this Wednesday 15th by 1 p.m. at 1 p.m. Now, this Holiday Sales System Bootcamp is not meant for you, and I'm very honest about it because it's important to me that I give you what exactly you need. This bootcamp is not meant for you to make 100,000 in 2 days. No, this boot camp is meant to open your eyes to see what is swallowing up your quality leads, what is swallowing up your revenue, what is swallowing up all the sales that you should have made earlier in the year, and how you can fix it so that you can better end the year in grand style going into 2026. Right? I want to open your eyes. I want to answer your questions. I want to give you the opportunity to understand what you need to implement so that you don't make a mistake. So that you don't start to think you need to create something new. So that you don't start to invest your time and energy into the wrong spaces, into the wrong people, into the wrong community, into the wrong whatever you think you're doing right now, right? Now, this 2-day virtual experience, 15 and 16, 1 p.m. Eastern, right? Now, like I said, I'm going to be showing you how you get to go from overwhelm, from trying to wing things to staying in alignment. Imagine having a seamless flow of things. There's one client of mine, Shai. She had a master class, and I'm going to show you, right? And I remember she's like, "Oh, TC, can we get this all figured out in a few weeks?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but you don't have the audience." And she's like, "Oh, so how do I go about it?" And so we created a strategy, and she was able to go around it, right? Now, the interesting part is that I didn't hear from her for like days thereabout. And then when I eventually heard from her, she's like, "Oh, TC, I was this, life was happening, blah, 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 and all of that. Life was lifing. It's okay. But what's not okay is if your entire life, all the people who are relying on you, their own lives, their own goals, pauses just because life happened to you. And as service providers, you're changing lives, you're impacting lives. No, now let's pause about your bottom line. Let's talk about your impact. Let's pause about the money, right? Let's talk about the impact. Imagine how many people you would be stalling, you would be stopping, you would be taking back, all because you do not have your thing figured out. Now, picture how many people's lives would be elevated, aligned, progressed, all because things are happening to you. You're doing your thing, but what you are providing to them is flowing. And that's exactly what happened to her. Life happened. I didn't even hear from her, nothing. I'm like, "Oh, good, good." But people were signing up, people were taking what they needed to take, right? And then she showed up 2 days and she's like, "TC, I'm ready for the masterclass." Now, did we get the signups? Yes, we did. All the things that we needed to get in place, was it in place? Yes. Did she get to live her life? Did she get to, because she had an emergency from her son, and then she had to go for a conference that she had speaking engagement, and she didn't know that she had conflicting calendar, conflicting dates, but she had to do those things. So your life doesn't have to stop. You don't have to sacrifice your peace, your happiness, these holidays, all because you want to. Some people be like, "I'm going to close." What do you do? Is it a hobby? You just wake up one morning and be like, "I don't want to do it." Or you just, I don't, right? Now I'm going to be showing you so many practical examples. I'm going to give you a look into Shire's results, right? And this was done like barely how many weeks. And mind you, we leveraged other people's audience, a major chunk of it, because she's building her community. Okay. Now, because I believe that your business is unique. Okay. Your business is unique. It's different from mine, even if we do the same thing. So I don't expect that we're going to have the same strategy, the same flow, the same. You want to be able to figure out what exactly you have going on in your business, refine it, and make it work for you. Now, in this bootcamp, I'm going to be showing you how to plug the holes in your back end that are leaking your revenue. How to set up a simple but powerful flow. No fluff, no overthinking, boom, boom, boom. That's it. Because, so many of us do not even know how to set up a very simple follow-up workflow. Very simple relationship building workflow. That's something that every business owner, every serious minded, purpose driven business owner needs. Even if you're building a personal brand, that's more reason why you need that. because you cannot be everywhere at the same time. Some people like, I'll just have my VA to do that. There's certain things that you need to know how to do yourself. Now, it will give you better idea of how to tell the next person, incorporate your vision so that the next person understands what your vision is, because you own your vision. No one can ever understand your vision better than you. Now, imagine when you cannot articulate clearly what the vision is. You're confusing me, you're confusing everybody, everyone around you is confused, and you'll be like, why does people don't understand me? You're not getting it, you're making a mistake, blah, blah, blah. That's because you're not communicating it the right way. You're not articulating it right. So you're speaking what you're speaking, thinking you understand and everybody else is supposed to understand. But in this space, you're the only one who understands what you understand. Okay. So, and I'm also going to be showing you how to close deals faster using a rinse and repeat follow-up system. Very simple flow. Very simple, right? Because like I said, it's simple, efficient. That's really what we're about. And listen, if you're serious about implementing it fast, a VIP option is also available. You can check in the comments and then you see the link to sign up. You can even go to the bio and then you sign up, okay? Now, like I said, the VIP option comes with full replay access, all the templates, automation workflows, ready to use workflows as well. You get that, right? Now, what happens with the VIP option is that you would literally walk away with everything you need to optimize your backend and sell effortlessly throughout the holidays. I've had people say to me, oh, TC, what do you think I should sell this holiday? I'm not able to know that because I cannot see what you have from where I stay. I need to either show you, teach you how to figure it out yourself, or I come in and check it. I come in and diagnose it. I come in and see exactly what you have. Then I can tell you, okay, this is what we'll typically sell based off of your audience, based off of, and then we're able to do certain projections and be able to pick exactly what your audience are targeting these holidays. And so it's easier for you to sell, because the fastest way for you to sell any product or any service is giving people what they want at that particular time, not what you think they want, not what you assume they want, but what they currently want right now, this season, this period, because what they used to want is not what they want right now. So you want to unlearn that mindset, right? If you want peace, if you want profit and predictable systems, sales system in Q4, you see this boot camp, you need to be there. Now, this boot camp is majorly for service providers, coaches, creative consultants. That's who this boot camp is measured for. So if you fit into this category, you want to plug in. And I remember a time that I would manually send like 20 leads. You know, those times, you're doing outreach, you send all those, oh my God. And then you're very tired because you're manually doing it. And sometimes maybe a word goes out or this, and you'd be like, oh. Now imagine when you can send outreach to thousands of people just one click. And so you're able to then say, okay, you know what, now I can reach you my conversion, see what's happening, see what's working, see what's not working in one clear dashboard. This is what I want for you. I talked about Shai that literally went from 0 VIP sign up to like about 35 with a single system shift. Now, it's not theory. I keep saying it. This is just structure that works, structure that sells. This boot camp is not meant for perfectionists. I would always say it is not meant for perfectionists. It's meant for people who are geared towards implementation. If you're tired of talk and you be like, you know what, I just want to get it done. I want to know how it's done. I want to see it. I want to ask questions so I can do it. so I can implement it. If I'm ready to say, okay, you know what, I'm ready to simplify and scale, then you belong here. In short, you belong in my space. But you see, this boot camp, you don't want to miss it. I've had like a couple of questions, frequently asked questions. I've had a couple of frequently asked questions. And so I'm just going to go through it. But before I go through those frequently asked questions, I would encourage you to share your questions in the comment section if you have any questions. Okay. Share it in the comment section and I'm happy to answer your questions. You can also DM me your questions. The link to sign up is in the comment and also in my bio. So you can always sign up and share the link, okay? Maybe besties and all, so that you can be a part of it. Okay. And so you have the opportunity to ask your questions. Really have the opportunity to figure out what kind of systems you need, what kind of automations you need. Do you actually need it? See, there's some people who do not even know that there's a big difference between AI and automation. We're talking automation, some people are thinking AI. We're talking AI, some people are thinking automation is different. So all of your questions about all of the things that you need to scale, what you need to implement, if you're tired of talk and you want to get it done, you want to know how it is being done, then this bootcamp is for you. We go live in 2 days, okay? And I believe that's just like 48 hours from now. Um, yeah, that's about 48 hours from now. Let me see if I have, yeah. So, mhm. So you want to be a part of it, all right? Um, I would tell you that you shouldn't let tech overwhelm cost you another sale, cost you another opportunity. Let's fix it together before the holiday rush eats up your peace and your profits. Okay. We don't want no rush. We want you to strategically flow, right? Taking you into Q4, all of the hustle and the bustle of Q4, stepping into 2026, refined, structured, confident, ready. Okay. Remember, this is your opportunity. You don't want to miss it. Like I said, I had 3 questions. Um, let me see. Okay. It says, what if I'm not techie? If you're not, that's what the bootcamps made it. Listen, if you're not techie, no worries. I'm making it, you know what it calls stupid simple, right? That's it. So making it stupid simple, like literally going to be guiding you step by step. Okay. Is there a particular business stage you prefer working in? For example, annual, annual revenue, or employees? Okay, so for me, um, the boot camp, okay, let me start with that. The boot camp is meant for service providers, coaches, majorly between one to, they're just starting off 1 to 5 years in their business, right? For the boot camp. However, for the consulting firm, right? We work basically with service organizations, SaaS companies, and nonprofit organizations. You talked about annual revenue. So for the consulting, so like I said, the bootcamp is different, different, right? The bootcamp is tailored for service providers, coaches, creators between 1 to 5 years in their business, just starting off, right? But working with me one on one, if you want to work with me one on one, now that's different. And In the minimum, at least you should have started around like 6 figure in your business, 5 to 6 figure in your business, um, because then we're able to strategically position you for you to scale, right? Um, you asked the question, you said, for example, employees. No. So one on one with the consulting, we actually work with you don't necessarily need to have a team, right? Now, why I say you don't necessarily need to have a team is because we can build you a lean team, right? We can build you a lean team. I've had clients with just a VA and her system that have done past 7 figures. The question is, what are you selling? What offers? Who are you targeting? Once we're able to build you a sales system that best speak to where you are, your objective, then we're able to figure out, who you need and who you don't need. Not every business demands tons of employees. Most of these employees are not as necessary as people think they are. So for me, um, if you're a solopreneur, we can still work with you based off of your objective, where you are. We also work with organizations as well. Like I said, SaaS companies, nonprofits, to train their teams, set up the system, set up this flows for their operations, their backend operations, right? So we want to figure out first what the problem is, what your objectives are, and then we can then curate solutions that best fit you. Now, if we're not able to support you, we'd let you know, right? Um, but this particular boot camp is tailored to service providers, coaches, creatives between 1 to 5. I hope that answers your questions. Okay, brilliant. Awesome. So somebody else asked, would there be a replay? Yes, there's going to be a replay for the boot camp, the first day and the second day. First day to second day. For the boot camp, all of the replays would be at the VIP vote. So you would have replays, you have the templates, you have the workflows, the automation workflows, and all of those. You also have access to the accountability group that give you access, I think, to the end of this month, just in case you need accountability with setting up your queue for whatever you want to workflow or something, right? You have accountability and all of that, and that's for the VIP vote, right? Yeah, so those are the questions. Yes, it does. Okay, good, awesome. So I believe that those are all the questions that I have, and thank you, Coach Karen, for asking questions. These are the questions that I have. However, if you have more questions, please reach out, connect in the comment section, in the DMs. I'm happy to answer your questions. Now, if you have questions basically about your systems, your automation, essentially that's what the bootcamp is about. Okay, answer all of your questions, show you what you need, you need to know, right? So you want to be a part of it. Okay, it's Wednesday and Thursday, but make sure you don't miss Thursday. Okay, because we're going to be showing you all the things. I'm trying to see if I can show you Shai's dashboard, but I'm not able to do it here on stream yet. I'm not sure why it's not coming up. However, we're going to be showing all of that on Wednesday. So you're going to be hearing life experiences. Okay, you're going to be seeing it. I'm going to be showing you. So if you're really about, um, if you're about, if you're tired of talk and you just want to get it done, you should be in a boot camp. Okay, because we're going to be literally breaking it all down. Okay, and if you have questions as well, please, those YouTube videos will not help you. Personally, I would say being in my classes, after the classes, then you can go watch the YouTube video. Now that's when you would understand it better, because now I'll be there, I would guide you, I will show you, I'll work with you step by step. Okay. All right. So that's it from me today. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I'm going to see you all on Wednesday, 1 p.m. Make sure that you join us, okay? And I hope that you have a brilliant, beautiful, productive, fulfilling week. Bye. Let me see.